I think part of it is just like my experience playing Star Wars Galaxies, and trying to survive in Star Wars Galaxies was really interesting. It was so time consuming and like taking up so much. Most of the gameplay was just taking up your time. But it was really interesting, okay? Just go out hunting for food an entire day, and then you're... That's what I did today. I was hunting for food in Star Wars Galaxies. Then you meet one guy who claims he has seen a Jedi, and you're like, ah, come on. That's not happened. If there was a Jedi on the server, then everyone would know about it. But at the same time, this was a really interesting feature back in the day with Star Wars Galaxies, right? Like, people could become Jedi, but it was completely unknown how to become a Jedi. So you had to go through all these steps that were completely unique per each player character. And if you did it right, eventually you would meet one NPC who can teach you the ways of the Force. And then you had to make a new character who had permadeath. And if your Jedi died... Yeah, it was such an interesting concept for an MMO mechanic, right? And it would just never happen now because of all the micro... Like, what would you call it? You would just be able to buy your ability to be a Jedi now. But and it sounds so made up now, like, oh, wouldn't that be cool? But this is real. This was stuff that happened in Star Wars Galaxies. And it made things so uncertain, right? Because you could unlock being a Jedi, but you would have no clue how to do it. Because the requirement is unique to each player character, how to become a Jedi. So you can never truly know how to do it. And once you get it unlocked, you have to make a new character. And it would be permadeath, and you would get like bounty hunters coming after you if you reveal yourself. Everything would be microtransactions and explain, yeah, exactly. And back then, you just didn't know. Like, someone could tell you, like, they saw a Jedi, and you would not believe him, but you can never be 100% certain. Because there could be a Jedi on the server, and you just don't know. But yeah, I remember, like, people would go to the forums and just be, like, reports of Jedi, and be like, here's a Jedi. And you would see them waving a lightsaber around. And of course, like, once you do that, they would probably be, like, dead the day after. Because it's like, you messed up. You showed yourself. Now everyone's coming after you. And of course, I will admit it, I was not a Jedi, but I was one of those guys who would go to the cantina dressed in, like, robes, like brown robes, and pretend I was a Jedi, and I would get a guy, or I remember at least one guy being like, oh, look, it's another one of those guys, another guy who's pretending to be a Jedi. And I could be like, oh, how do you know I'm not a Jedi? And he's like, yeah, obviously, show me then, show me you're a Jedi. And I would just be like, oh, you can never really know. I was not a Jedi, obviously. But who could say? Maybe I was. Maybe I'm hiding it even today. Man, that was such a cool thing. And they completely ruined it. They ruined the game, because if you look it up now, it's just like, yeah, you can just be a Jedi from the start. You can just pick from the beginning, be a Jedi. It's done, it's over. Man, it would be so cool to have that today in MMO. Like, here's how to unlock psychic powers or something like that, or like keeping that super secret. And the thing is, the requirement for a Jedi were so random. They were completely random. So it was never like, oh, train with sword fighting or everything or anything like that. It could be like, yeah, you have to reach like level 20 dancer and then go to like a specific part of a world at a specific time and and talk to a guy. And that's your requirement for becoming a Jedi. And you would never know. So you might just be someone like training in like, I don't know, gunfire. And your requirement is like, yeah, you have to go to a cantina and be a professional dancer and dance for 20 hours. It was very difficult. But that made it cool. Like, you could probably have played on the same character for like years and never uncover it. We need more cool, like, mechanics like that in games. MMOs and whatnot. Just secrets. Because I feel like that's part of, like, what has, I don't know, not ruined World of Warcraft or anything like that, but part of the initial appeal and why you can never recreate vanilla. It's just like people did not know anything about the game. You didn't have add-ons and things to add to a game and wikis. You had to learn on the go. Need more MMOs where people are just encouraged. Yeah, exactly. And I feel like that's part of, like, maybe what made me drawn towards RP servers and stuff like that. Role-playing in an MMO can be fun, but I don't know. Some people take it way too seriously.